If you want to learn how to get a date off a dateless buffalo nickel, I'm going to show you right now. And it's only got 2 ingredients. Stick around. Hey, welcome to 5280 Adventures, bringing you information so you can enjoy your coin collecting just a little bit more. If you don't want to miss out on any future videos, do me a favor, just hit the subscribe button right here in the corner, click that bell for notifications, and that way you'll know every single time a new video comes out. Today we're going to talk about the buffalo nickel. Now, we've come across these nickels in our everyday lives, whether they've been found metal detecting, if we had them handed down from our grandparents, or just come across them in our day-to-day travels. Most of these nickels that we have found have been worn down so much that you can't even see a date on them. And I'm here to show you today one way to be able to find that date on the dateless buffalo nickel. But first, let me tell you a little bit about the buffalo nickel. The buffalo nickel, or the Indian head nickel, is a copper nickel 5-cent piece that was struck by the United States Mint from 1913 to 1938. It was designed by sculptor James Earl Fraser. In 1911, the Taft administration officials decided to replace the Liberty head design for the nickel and commissioned Fraser to do the work. They were impressed by Fraser's designs showing a Native American and American bison. The designs were approved in 1912, but were delayed several months because of objections from the Hobbs Manufacturing Company, which made mechanisms to detect slugs in nickel-operated machines. The company was not satisfied by changes made in the coin by Fraser, and in February 1913, Treasury Secretary Franklin McVeigh decided to issue the coins despite the objection. Despite attempts by the Mint to adjust the design, the coins proved to strike indistinctly and to be subject to wear. The dates were easily worn away in circulation. In 1938, after the expiration of the minimum 25-year period during which the design could not be replaced without congressional authorization, it was replaced by the Jefferson nickel that we still continue to use today. Now I have 4 buffalo nickels here that don't have dates on them. I pulled them from a collection that I have here, and the dates are always right down here in the bottom left of the neck. This one, obviously, you can see is very worn. Nothing there as well. My hopes is that we can perform this experiment and get a date off of it. Now, before we get started, I do want to put out a disclaimer, and I'll probably put out this disclaimer multiple times in the video. Do not use this experiment on any nickels that you know of to be of high value, nickels that you do not want to be cleaned, or nickels that you want to sell in the future. The great thing about this experiment, it only requires 2 ingredients, and both of them are very cheap for you to buy at the store. You're going to start out with white distilled vinegar. You're going to place that in the freezer for about 30 minutes. I've used a half a cup of it. Go ahead and remove it from the freezer when you're at 30 minutes. We're going to put the vinegar right into the bowl that we have our nickels in. And the final ingredient will be the peroxide. I'm going to use a 1/4 cup peroxide, and we're going to pour that right in over the top of the vinegar. Now you're going to let that sit for about 24 hours. The chemical reaction that is going on inside the bowl right now is going to remove the gunk off the nickels and allow us to hopefully be able to pull up a date off the nickels. Let's take a peek. We're looking at about 18 hours of being in the solution. Still bubbles going on. Beautiful blue color there on the liquid. I think I'm going to pull these out, get in there close, see if we can identify any dates. The last thing I would suggest when you're finished, though, is to take about a, I don't know, teaspoon or so of baking soda, mix it in the water, drop the coins in there, and that will neutralize any sort of chemical reaction that we have going on in the blue liquid. So I'm going to get that taken care of, clean them up a little bit, then we'll zoom in and see if we can get a date. All right, we're taking a peek at these now. It looks like this first one here, we can see right away that's already come up at about a 1916. You can definitely see the difference in the color of the nickel now. It's definitely a bright white, but it does allow to see that 1916. Let's look at the other ones. We're looking at that second one. maybe a 1921. That one's a little bit more difficult to see. Number 3 might be a little bit difficult here on the camera. But I think it's a 1919 starting to poke through right down at the bottom here. That one is pretty wiped. There's just barely anything coming through. I've really been looking close at this one. This one was the slickest one. I cannot get anything off of there. I think we've lost that date completely, unfortunately. But 3 out of 4 isn't bad. I'll definitely take that. Well, there you go. That's a quick and easy step with only 2 ingredients to pull off the dates on those dateless buffs. Again, I will preface this entire video again by saying if this is a valuable coin to you, if this is something that you plan on selling, please do not do this technique. This will put this coin into a clean status in the eyes of a coin collector, and it may degrade the value of it. It's up to you if you want to keep the coin. If you just are curious about what the date is, go ahead and use this technique, find out what that date is, and solve your questions right there. Before we leave, there's a couple of videos that are right here. Continue watching these. These are going to be awesome for you. I know that you're going to enjoy them. I appreciate all the time that you spent watching this video. I appreciate all the support from the channel, guys. And I'll see you on the next adventure. Take care.